My name's Jan Henderson, and I'm the director of the Montana Outreach Teen Challenge in Missoula, Montana. And we're here today just to kind of shine a light on what Montana Outreach's desire is for the state of Montana. And in 2003, last year, it came out with the Department of Health and Human Services report that Montana was number 2 in the nation for illicit drugs, and Montana was also 4th in consumption for alcohol. So we've got a huge problem of drugs and alcohol in the state of Montana, for as small as we really are. So our desire for Montana Outreach is to reach out to those within our state, because they're our heritage, and we really want to be able to help the families that have been caught in drug and alcohol abuse. And Teen Challenge is a national program. Actually, it's an international program that's been around for over 45 years. We're going into our 4th year in Missoula, and we've got a 10-bed women's residential center. We would really love to see a men's center open at some point, because there's a huge amount of men that are in need of a Teen Challenge program also. It's our desire for Montana Outreach to reach out to those in Montana that have had drug and alcohol problems and give them hope and new life. We've got a lot of staff that are dedicated to serving the students that we have and have a real desire. Many of them have come from backgrounds that have been difficult in their past too, and know that with God's help we can make changes. So we're here to meet the need in the state of Montana, because there's a lot of methamphetamines in this state, and there's a lot of drug abuse. There's a lot of children that are being neglected and abused because their parents are bound in drugs and alcohol, and we just want to be able to make a difference in the state of Montana.
Teen Challenge is not just school and work and just, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's also, I mean, we have a lot of cleansing and emotional healing. It's amazing just what God can do, just to make you smile every day again. And instead of being miserable and tormenting yourself from your past, you can be healed from all that. And that's what God does to us here.
Just see the awesome power of God. Like, not a lot of us knew Jesus Christ when we came here, and He just filled our hearts and just made us a new creation.
I'm thankful that God has given this place to us as a refuge. I wouldn't have done it out there. I didn't know how, and I didn't know God. And I need this support from these girls every day. I need constant reassurance from staff just while I grow, and I need some correction in my life, because I've strayed from that for so long. And I'm just thankful for the roof He's putting over our head.
I have a future now. I know that I can get out of here and I can actually go do something and be somebody, and just have a confidence in just living in my future and not in my past.
God has used Teen Challenge to just dramatically change the person I was. I was pretty angry and mean. Just not a nice person to be around, I guess.
I get a feeling of love, and I'm able to give it, and I live for God, and I have the fear of God since I've been here, and it gives me a whole new purpose to life.
I have 2 kids that I'm going to go home to in 4 months, and I'm going to be able to be the mom that I've always wanted to be.
I'm just thankful for this place and where it's brought me from, and where I'm going.
God has changed my heart, like totally, done a 360 in me, and He's still going to continue to do that work in me, and just help me to love people instead of hate them and hurt them. And that's just really awesome.
Today I've asked Edna Bjork if she would join me, and Edna is the outreach coordinator for the Missoula County Detention Facility, and she also works with us as Teen Challenge in the jail. And so I invited Edna to talk about a few things within the jail facility. So Edna, what do you think is the greatest need within the inmate culture today?
Well, I've seen quite a change. I've been coming to the Missoula County Jail since 1985 in the old facility. But in this new facility, there seems to be a little bit gentler spirit, if they can have it at all, because they have such a a need to be firm with everyone, but there's a gentler spirit, and I see such a need for a place for these women to come out too, so they can reunite with their families, their children, and whatever, and to learn about what put them there in the first place. And they need to have hope. A lot of them have come from a drug and alcoholic background with mothers and fathers and grandparents, and many times they don't even know how to change. And Teen Challenge with their program is really awesome, in that they put them in a safe place. They don't have to be around their old friends and people that they got in trouble with, and they come into a safe environment, and with the different staff members and teachers here, they've learned to reconnect with who they really were meant to be in the beginning with God's help. And I love it. It just, they stay here 1 year, give or take, and they learn how to have jobs, they learn how to eat proper, and especially learn how to change their character so they're not in the same environment when they leave here. I've just been really impressed with your program, and it's just awesome. I'm really hoping and praying for a men's program. We need a men's facility and even a bigger women's facility in the long run, because there's such a work being done in the jails right now and they need a safe place to come to, Jan. I really admire you. From '85 to when this facility opened, I had prayed for a place for people to go, because they come out, they haven't done anything on their own for a long time. They've just obeyed, now it's time to eat, now is the time to do this, now it's time to do that. And then they come out to, what do I do now? And they often fall back into the same thing they've been in, but now they have an alternative. And isn't it an 85% recovery rate with Teen Challenge? And different presidents have actually looked into the program and endorsed this program, because it has the highest rate of people returning to a normal life, per se.
I know that when I worked in the Missoula County Detention Facility, one of the things that I, as a jail minister like you are and the coordinator, I remember working with these gals once they got out and trying to hold them accountable so that they could break the cycle that they had been in. And one of the things that I found was that they really needed the structure of a program like Teen Challenge that was safe, to where they could make some mistakes and still not fall all the way back maybe to jail or prison, but it was a safe environment where people loved them and could teach them a new way of living. And would you agree with that?
I fully agree with that. And that's what I meant by, it's like you put your arms around them and hold them in a safe place. And they really need that, because you're showing them a completely foreign way of living to them. But I see a lot of the girls today that I'm working with right now, in fact, they're so glad that they were put in jail, so that they're in a safe place where they could finally realize they have hope, and then to come right into Teen Challenge afterwards. It's incredible. It's incredible the changes I see in their lives when they come through this program.
One of like the Department of Corrections nationally, I believe the recidivism rate is 75%. So if you look at a 75% recidivism rate for those that go to prison, and those that go to Teen Challenge have like a 14% recidivism rate, that's a huge percentage of difference. And yet our program is not supported by government dollars. We raise all of our own funds from people that want to support and help their loved ones in the program, and we do lots of different outreaches. Plus, we've got our works program, our work ethics program, that we teach them some work ethics, and we've also got our educational program that we'll take a look at with Barb, and we do some community service in different areas. But the girls actually have the opportunity to give back to the community for what they have, what they're able to get here. So it teaches them some basic skills.
But put that all together, because basically you're giving them their self-respect back. You're giving them honor back. You're giving them hope in a way that they've never had, many of them never before in their life. And to see their faces change through the ministry that we go in and do every week, it's incredible. At first they look at you and they have no hope, and then all of a sudden there's a light goes on in their eyes, and this hope it grows, and then when you bring them into the program, that self-respect keeps growing, and they can look in the mirror and see themselves and say, hey, I'm really not so bad. I have a chance at being a normal human being. I have a chance of being a mother to my children, or a wife to my husband. I have a chance to make a difference in the world. And it's cool because these ladies too have such compassion, because they've been there. They know the road. They know how hard it is. And to see them come out through your program and see them, the light in their faces, is just awesome, Jan.
Well, you know, you look at the methamphetamine problem that totally destroys the neurotransmitters in their brain, and most people don't realize that when they're doing methamphetamine, they're actually ingesting Drano into their body.
That's true.
And lighter fluid, and the damage that does to a body, and
That's true.
so you know, you can understand the reason there's so much violence and stuff that goes with methamphetamines. And we probably get 4 or 5 calls a day with people wanting to get in the program. And ours is a small, newer center. Some of the other centers will get 20 calls a day. And most all of it is from methamphetamines across the nation. So one of the things that we've found with the one-year program is that even those neurotransmitters are damaged, many times God will just heal them.
That's right.
But other times, at about 10 months of being in the program, it's like they wake up and they go, wow, where have I been? It's because some of those there are other neurotransmitters that are connecting, and they're actually able to see reality once again. So long-term programs are much more effective.
They have to. They have to.
Than a 30-day.
Oh, of course, because you realize these people are, say, from 20 to 40 or 50, and they have spent 45 years of their life, or
Over
even
half,
15 years of their life, or whatever, living a certain way, and you're introducing into a whole new ballgame with God, with themselves, and you are loving and kind, and it's something that's really new. When even in my life, when things were going bad, and then I made the change, and I have 20-some years sobriety, and anyway, I didn't believe them for a year that they really loved me, because I had never experienced that love in 39 years. And so it took a year to realize that you could be a loving person to me, and I could be lovable. And so when you keep them in that year program, it's vital. It's vital that you have it. And right now we do need funds for more. We need a bigger place. We need funds for a men's place. A lot of men are coming out and they have such hope, and they come out and they reunite with old friends, and that's a cycle we're trying to break with the men and the women. But all the help we can get, we can get.
Yeah,
we
that's
put it
true.
to good use.
Yeah, that's true.
Good use all the time. But I think the program is just incredible. And now it's nice that we have government actually even looking at it and appreciating what you're doing.
Yeah. One of the things that I know just over the last 4 years, it was very difficult to get an inmate that has been in the Department of Corrections into a program like this, because they didn't want to expand into any other program other than their state-funded facilities.
Right.
But today we see that changing, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the faith-based initiatives. But we have not taken any of that faith-based funding just because of the strings that are attached to it.
Right.
And Teen Challenge thus far has been very successful for a long period of time. And we don't want to go changing things that are working for any amount of money. We would rather continue to keep expanding our support base and keep growing by donations from the communities. And that also holds us accountable more to the local communities too.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do see changing with the government is that our local state government is that they are more willing to allow a woman to come in, and I think that's all the more reason that we do need a men's center, because they do not want to allow the men to leave the state. So the need, most of the men that have been in the system in this state cannot leave the state of Montana to attend a Teen Challenge Center somewhere else. So the need for one in Montana, I think, is huge.
Well, that shows the vitalness of it. That just shows, and also they're favoring you because they've seen results in what's happened here.
Yeah.
They've seen the results, and I also see that, and I admire you because not only are you working with just that individual. You're working with the parents and the family and the children. It ultimately spreads out like a rock hitting the water. It ripples out to everybody. So I'm hoping too that the Men's Center can be started quite soon. I really do. It means a lot to the state of Montana.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what we want to do as the Montana Outreach, is reach throughout the state to all men, women, children, and make a difference in the state of Montana.
That's right.